So I'm going to take my resume. I'm going to drop it into a template. We'll talk a little bit about the templates that you ought to be using for your resumes, and we'll go on from there. Um, Now, this is the Microsoft site. Like if you go and look at templates, and if you're on Word, for example, you would see this, and these are all the templates for resumes, and these are almost all terrible. What I'll tell you is, the first thing you have to do is you have to have AI be able to read everything, and the machine needs to be able to read everything. Not all machines are AI, and in this case, it's the applicant tracking system. So the applicant tracking system has to be able to read the resume that you put out and the profile that you put it in. In this case, we've got uh, we've got a bunch of stuff that will be very hard for a machine to parse. So when the parsing engines go and try to pick out your contact information, for example, it won't be in there. So when you're uploading this resume a lot, you will constantly have to be re-uploading or correcting all the contact information, perhaps the skills and education. It will probably pick up this experience stuff on this one, but anywhere where you've got all these um, different formattings on the side, just trying to look cute, it doesn't work. Don't put your picture on there. Nobody's going to see your picture. We don't want to see your picture. Um, don't put that on there. There are some good basic ones. In fact, there's one called Basic Resume Template. That's the only good one in this whole batch. Is the one that's called the Basic Resume Template. In fact, um, each of these on the top, 1, 2, 3, 4. This one is passable. You might be able to use that one. Classic resume. You might be able to use that. That might be fine. Um, let's see. This one, no, this one has weird formatting over here. It's got some of these table things. This one you could probably use. Doesn't have the formatting problem. This one, even this with these things broken off to the side, that's a no-go. You don't want to do that. The bottom line is no one actually reads your resume or sees the file. If it's a basic resume, they'll be just as happy to look at that as they are something super fancy. I would I would keep very, very little formatting in the resume itself. Let's see. Basic resume is the one that used to be good. Yeah. This one is completely passable. These are a few things. Now, I've built my own template that I like to use, and what I'll do is I will go over to my template, and that's the one that we'll use for this piece. So my template is again very, very basic. First name, last name. I actually tend to put these side by side, and then your address, phone number, email. That all goes up top. I believe in an exec summary. That way, when people are skimming your resume, you can control what parts of your resume jump out at them at the beginning. So I believe in an exec summary. I don't believe in an objective statement, like going in and saying, my objective for this job is to get a paycheck. Like that sounds like the normal objective, but it really is like to get a paycheck most of the time. So having an objective there doesn't make very much sense, but having an exec summary does make sense. So I would keep an executive summary in, and then education. It typically the templates have education next, but that's only viable. You only do your education before experience if you're relatively new in your career. If you're 2 to 5 years into your career and education is really what you have the most of, if you have more education, more years of education than you have years of experience, that's the rule of thumb. So then you put your education first. If you have more years of experience than you have years of education, you put your experience first. Whichever one you have more of, which ultimately is whichever is the most impressive, that's what you put first on your resume. For me, we're going to be writing my resume today. I don't have a volunteer resume, so we'll write my resume today. And we'll be looking at experience. So what is what's the background that I have? What's the experience? And we'll go through and we'll fill in some blanks in my experience based on what I have in LinkedIn, because I need to update my LinkedIn. And then we'll fill in some blanks, and then we'll decide which pieces to include and which ones not to include in my resume. Here's my philosophy on a resume. I think you should build one really long resume, a super duper long resume that has everything that you've ever done in it. If that thing is 10 pages, fine. That doesn't matter. It can be 10 pages. Then when you get an actual job description, you look at that job description, ask what they're looking for, check out what they're looking for, and start deleting things that aren't relevant. And what I oftentimes will do is I'll oftentimes, instead of just experience, I'll say relevant experience here. And that way it's really clear that this is experience that I think is particularly applicable to this particular job. So I'll put relevant experience on this piece. All right. And then as we go down, you've got education, awards and acknowledgement, skill summary, right? This skill summary is, I use this to throw in some keywords that I think the AI is looking for, and that will help with match. The people, everybody wants skills. They love skills, and where we used to be able to have like these hidden skill sections in our resumes, we don't do that as much anymore. We don't have hidden skill sections, so instead we people have skill summaries. But because everybody's so focused on hiring to skills now and having your skills documented inside of your stuff, it works really really well to have these skill summaries in here. So I would keep a skill summary and then pipe in all of the key words that are there for your position that you're trying to go for. So maybe even put it into chat gpt, say extract keywords and skills, extract skills required for this job, with job posting, and then drop all those skills into this for each job that you're applying for, and then delete out anything that's not relevant, right? That you actually don't have those skills. I would delete those things out along the way. So that's a very viable thing to do. Okay, so exec summary. Now there it is. What's nice is when I did my resume, they were kind enough to write me a summary. So this is a thing that LinkedIn's doing now with their chat GPT stuff. Fine, we're fine with that. So what they're doing is they're writing the summary. Let's go ahead, see how this fits. It's really too long. You need like 2 sentences. Let's see. Wow, that's pretty good. Okay, so here's what I'm going to do. I'm going to cut it here, and then I'm going to drop this core competency stuff that it wrote for me. Oops. I need to go to right here. This core competency stuff that it wrote for me. I'm going to put that here in this skill summary section. Right. So what that's doing is saying these are all skills: HR analytics, recruiting, process architecture, measurement, metrics, program management, strategic initiatives that improve efficiency, quality, diversity, and talent acquisition. The key accomplishments I may keep. Actually, I'm going to delete that out because I have accomplishments on each of my job. Yeah. Again, I didn't write all this stuff. This was written by Microsoft in LinkedIn. So LinkedIn wrote that for me. It's very nice of them to do. So, okay, as senior vice president of technology and analytics at Cielo Talent, that's what I do. It's a recruiting organization. I lead a global team of experts in delivering cutting edge solutions that optimize the hiring process, enhance the candidate's experience for our clients. That is exactly what I do. That's my job. With over 25 years of experience in talent acquisition, I have deep understanding of challenges, opportunities, dynamic and competitive talent environment, proven track record of designing, executing strategic initiatives that improve efficiency, quality, and diversity of talent acquisition. Wow, I sound really great with that. I'm going to keep that in the summary. Okay, feeling pretty good about that. First things first, we go with my current job. I work for this great company called Cielo Talent. And that's correct. What I may do is take this piece here and drop that on this line. Oops. Maybe I'll just do it this way. I'll grab this. I like their formatting on this. Nope, wrong thing. I want this formatting to go here. Goodness gracious. Man, having you guys watch me do this is a little nuts. I don't want to do it word by word. I've never had that much trouble with this. Oh well. I'm going to delete that out. Okay. Now, I don't have what I do here, so I need to build out some bullets. Let's see. Well, let's test out Copilot. Okay, so here's what I'm going to say. Whenever you do this, the thing to do is you have to have action-oriented bullets. So when you think action-oriented bullets, it's I completed, I achieved, I did something. Something has to do with like an action that you take. And so for this one, what I'll say I developed developing next generation talent analytics. Building our custom Cielo talent cloud technology platform, because that's what I do. Probably don't need to say customs because it does use the name in there. So we're building that. I lead a team of talented engineers and recruiting professionals to provide great support for our clients. So that's pretty good. I lead some people there. I like that. I'm a little bothered by the fact that I can't get this thing to work. There we go. I'm going to take that bullet. Boom. Got it. All right. So no more than 3 or 4 bullets per job is my rule. So we're going to be done with Cielo Talent. No more bullets for them. Next, we're going to talk about this little company called JP Morgan Chase. Drop that in. And we're going to use this formatting for this one. You can kind of see how that goes. Um, I actually don't like this summary thing here where it says how long, because if you're not there for the right amount of time, it can be a thing. So also, I didn't realize I'd been here for 10 months already. That's crazy. Um, but yeah, I don't like doing the math for people. They can do their own math. So JP Morgan, I transformed the hiring model for high volume branch associate roles. Those are tellers, by the way, but we had to call those branch associates. And man, you can get one of those jobs in like 5 days now. So if you guys are interested in finding a job at JP Morgan, the whole process takes like 5 days. It's super fast, and it didn't used to be. So that's cool. That's not a bad deal. I would look into that. All right. So we'll do that. I will. What else did I do with this place? Transform the hiring model. We uh, we built AI enabled candidate matching. By the way, that's what I'm teaching you how to enhance and how to get around with this job, with this resume. So getting your resume to match up with the job, that's the deal here. But I think you guys get the point of what we do here, right? It's action words. You've got the resume. Uh, you action words, 3 bullets per job. Um, Maybe go to 5 if you got to tell us. Like if this is something that's like the end of the world if nobody knows, um, then I would go to 5. But yeah, action words, put some bullets in here, you're good to go. All right. What else did I do while I was there? Um, oh, we I led the sourcing team over 450 sourcers globally to delivered unparalleled success in candidate generation, meaning we found a bunch of people. Cool. We're going to leave that right where it is. Educations. I can keep doing this, by the way. We can keep on going. I worked at Accenture for a little while. Then I worked at a company called Ronstad for a while. Lots of time at Ronstad. This is my previous time at Accenture. Accenture, Avnot, Accenture. That's all one big company. So that's 2, 3, 4, 5, and some change with Accenture. And then my next time there, we'll call it 7 years total that I spent at Accenture. I did 8 years with Cisco Systems here, and we can add that in as well. So we can just drop those in. But now we're going to switch. We're going to shift gears over to education. I have an MBA, so we're going to put that in there. You put your most recent degree first. So so I dropped that right here. I don't do my GPA just because it was so long ago. I just feel like that's silly. I honestly don't remember my GPAs for any of my places. They were fine. I wasn't the valedictorian though. So you know how many people are the valedictorian? One, and that's all you get. So you don't have to worry about not being the valedictorian. Nobody's looking for that. Um, if somebody asks for your GPA and you've been out of school for, well, really any amount of time at all, they're looking at the wrong thing. They're not doing things that make sense. Let's see, rewards or awards. Let's see. Oh, here we go. Honors and awards. Inventor on this thing and some publications that I've done. We'll put that in there. I'll just put the inventor piece in there. I actually have a couple of patents that are out there. Inventor. Well, I'll just list the one. So we put the patent in, and then skills summary. Let's see, top skills. Let's go steal these. Make sure they're in here. Top skills-aroo. Yeah, they were already in there. Okay, we don't need any of that. All right. So, in summary, I went to LinkedIn, grabbed my profile, downloaded that as a PDF, and then I'm putting that into this resume. Now, the template that we're using, again, super simple template. The template is it's one that I have, but it's very similar to Microsoft's basic template. So if you were to go to Microsoft and look on their template section, it's very similar to the Microsoft basic. So I would grab that first. But you want something that doesn't have these columns. You want something that has the breakout just in line breaks. I actually don't even like the details are over on the right. I like something very simple because again, what we're trying to do is we're trying to speak the language of the machine that's going to have to read this resume. So I want something super simple when I'm doing that with oops um, with this thing. So yeah, I would take this super simple resume. Mine is basic. It has nothing but line breaks, meaning return carriages for formatting, and first name, last name at the top, address, phone number. You this is and I would do something that's very simple, and then here you're wanting to make it so simple for the machine to read because that's the first person that's going to read your resume. A machine is going to read your resume and decide how relevant you are for this whole thing. All right, this is it. This is it. You've got your